Do things that your future self will thank you for. Hi, welcome back. Today's topic is retirement. The whole concept of retirement is actually fairly new, recent in the last 70 years or so. Before that, life expectancy wasn't that great, and people worked till they dropped or until they couldn't physically do it anymore. As I say, life expectancy wasn't that great. Always loved the Mickey Mantle saying that if I'd known I'd live this long, I'd have taken better care of myself. Always makes me laugh. And even more recent, probably from the 50s on, is this notion of retiring at 65. But what are you going to do when you retire? Just play golf, watch TV, build birdhouses? If you enjoy your work, why not keep doing it? My best advice is to have options. If you want to keep working, then keep working. If you want to cut back part-time, do that. If you want to quit and do something else, just travel, then do that. You want to give yourself options to do whatever you want to do and not be stuck having to work. So retirement should be thought of as giving yourself the options to not work if you don't want to, as one of the options. In other words, providing for your old age. Social Security is a really poor investment. You're much better off if you were able to invest that money yourself rather than giving it to the government. And it's not money that can be passed to your heirs. Social Security was only meant to be a minimum safety net to prevent people from starving in retirement. It was never meant to live on completely. Now they use Social Security to cover everybody that's on disability or other such things that it was never intended to do. When Social Security first was enacted, it went into effect if you were 65, but the average life expectancy was like 61.7 years. And I've said this before, but I hate the stories that you always hear about you need so much. There was one recently, you need $1.49 million to retire comfortably. What is the point of that? All it does is discourage people because they're nowhere near that. The point of it is you do the best you can and you put aside as much as you're able to, the 15% if you can, and that's good enough. What is the point of stressing over how much money you put aside for 40 years? What's the point of that? Do your best to live and live happily and without the stress and without feeling inadequate. If you just do the 15% that I've described in this book, you won't have to worry about money. I've also said this, don't live poor so you can die rich. That's kind of pointless. And don't leave your kids a whole bunch of money. You're not really helping them. I've said this before. I don't believe in postponing living so that you can, in the future, have a happier life. No, learn to be happy now. Learn to live now, and while you're setting aside something for the future. Some people live in the past, some people live for the future. I am kind of guilty myself of living too much for the future. I'll be happy when XXX. It's like focusing on the horizon. It's an illusion. It doesn't really exist. The closer you get, it's the same horizon. I've said the future is a mental construct of the human mind. It doesn't really exist, only in our heads. All we really have is the present. Live in the present, but again, do things that your future self will thank you for. And that's it for retirement. See you next time. Hit subscribe or go to rockledgerinc.com and buy my book. See ya.